Hello everyone, this is Bryant with sfotsource.com, your premier guide to Six Flags over Texas. We're back out at the park. Thanksgiving is over and Holiday in the Park is in full swing. Now, as y'all know, the last time we were out here, we highlighted a ton of construction projects happening around the park, such as Pirates of Speelunker Cave. There's a new fence going around. Mr. Freeze is getting a new paint job. There's some other demolition and paint, and of course the parking lot. Now, we haven't done a very good job showing y'all what's going on with the parking lot, so I am going to try to elaborate on that a little bit in this video. But the primary purpose of this is to just walk around and see what's going on around the park and see if anything's changed since we've been out here a few weeks ago. All right, before we head into the park, we are going to walk around and I'm going to show y'all some of the stuff that's going on out here because we've only talked about it. We've not really looked at it, and they did actually reroute the parking lot back to how it used to be, so it was very easy to get in here today. Let's go check some stuff out. So like we had mentioned before, they were actually routing traffic this way down this lane over here where the tram normally goes. Luckily, the traffic is routing back this way again through the main thoroughfare, so that front gate area doesn't get too backed up. And we're actually by the former gas station out here in the parking lot, so kind of where preferred parking turns into general parking. And you can see they are just chugging away on this. We've got this area that's kind of been cleared away, ready to be repaved, and you can see right next to that beautiful new blacktop. This is looking really good. And I guess maybe I never noticed that there's just like a pole running, like some lines running right through this. I mean, I've seen the power before, but it's kind of crazy when they clean stuff up what you find. And from this angle, you can see how 6 lanes is looking. This is real nice right here. And then right up there is the entrance to preferred parking. It's not the reserved parking, but you can see they've made it all the way to that preferred parking entrance with this new pavement, and I'm sure that area down there is coming. We'll have to see if that happens during a holiday in the park, or if they, wait until maybe into January when it's a little less busy. And the last time we were out here, this area by the front gate had posts for a brand new fence, but now you can see that the brand new fence is fully intact. Now, this area under bobsled is sometimes used as an overflow entrance when it's incredibly busy. So it looks like they're trying to find a way to keep that integrated into this new fence setup, but maybe they haven't quite done that yet. But otherwise, this thing is looking pretty much done. Obviously, we haven't walked, around the far sides where guests don't really go, but it just looks immensely better out here with this new fence. And like we've talked about the last time we were out here doing a construction update, this is no longer where you have your membership and ticket stand. And I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe this is leaving. I talked about that last time, but there's really no clues on that right now. But I would imagine that they're going to open this area up. And we have ventured all the way into the lower Texas section, just kind of taking a peek at stuff. And we've got a new roof over here. So way back in the day, this is where you could get some wax hands made. This is over by Boot Scootin', which is that way. But you can see brand new roof on this building. So looks like this type of stuff is still going full force, even though we're late into the season. So we've been asked a number of times about Titan, and you can see they have put up a is closed today for seasonal maintenance sign, but I do think there's more going on to it. So let's kind of just go down, see if we can figure out what's going on, and give y'all maybe a better idea of the actual issue. So you actually can't even get all the way down to Titan, which means Sidewinder is closed, and you can't see Titan there, and I am wondering maybe if the lift hill chain is broken. That's kind of what I'm assuming is going on up there, for those of you who have been very curious. Now obviously it's not super common for a theme park to just have chains laying around, so I'm sure with supply issues It's probably taken them a really long time to get a chain to replace that with, if that's what the issue is. I haven't been down here in a while, admittedly, and I was a little surprised to see the log ride sign still up since they moved the entrance, but it would be super awesome if they could take out this wall and actually expand this pathway, because this is a really, really bad pinch point, and maybe it's in the plans, it just hasn't happened yet. So our next stop on just this general construction update is going to be Old South, and as we pointed out a few weeks ago, they had started repainting buildings down here, and I kind of feel like where there's one, there's going to be multiple, so let's find out. Now, admittedly, this could have happened a number of weeks or months ago, but it does look like they've repainted this fence line that butts up into the Smith Street ice cream parlor, so it just looks a lot more fresh over here with that. And here's that building we pointed out last time that got a fresh coat of paint, and it does look like the old Emporium building next to it is also getting some love. You can see they've started replacing siding on this building, and they've started replacing pieces of the fence, so it's just so nice to see TLC at the park, because man, some of this stuff was just having a really hard time, really on the struggle bus, so I could expect this to get a new coat of paint once they've done all of these repairs. Now, when you look across from the old Emporium building, which is Heroes, you have the Diamond Member Lounge, and I do see some new wood down there at the bottom. Now, the building is looking rough, but I think that's actually because they are working on repairs for the wood. So I do think they are trying to have to see how much of this is rotted and salvageable and what they actually have to replace. So looks like this building is also next up on the list of things to get a facelift and just some general maintenance. General maintenance is always very nice. And this isn't necessarily a construction update, but I just want to point out that Uncle Bub's here in Old South is open today. And I don't think I've seen this open since the pandemic started, other than for the beer festival they did during July 4th Fest. So, man, all right. I see you, Six Flags. And we are going to do a full loop of the park, but I took a small detour over to the USA section just to look at Looney Tunes Mall. And I'm not really seeing anything too different over here. They did take down the random camera that was sitting up there, but otherwise it's pretty much still looking the same. I'm sure they're gonna have to wait until a less busy time to really get this going, but just a quick update for you. Now I think we are gonna actually cut back across into the Texas section and take the back way around the park just to see if anything has changed down there. And before we cut back across, just wanted to point out that along with its brand new paint job, All American Cafe has a new entrance awning, so looking real good. And we've cut our way through the JB Smokehouse outdoor eating area over to where back porch stage used to be, just to see if anything's really changed over here, and it certainly has not. It's still just kind of looks a little interesting. Hopefully it gets a little more TLC than just the blacktop. And of course, Pirates of Speelunker Cave, which is set to be the first ride to open next year, is still under construction, and you can see that they are continually working on this new rock entrance portal, and it does look like they've tried to just naturalize this a little more than the way it looked last time, because you know, last time it didn't necessarily fit in with the natural rock that they had here, but it does look like they're getting closer and closer to that, so hopefully maybe it'll get a little bit more paint so it just kind of fits in, but very excited to see the entrance move back to this area. And nothing else really looks too noticeable about what they're doing with the cave ride. You can see though that they've done a little bit of cosmetic stuff to the entrance to the cave, so I'm sure most of what's going on is on the inside and this stuff will come at the end, but it still pretty much just kind of looks like Yosemite Sam and the Gold River Adventure out here. I am particularly curious about how this facade's going to change, because certainly it has to. And they didn't put any Christmas lights on it, so I'm wondering if that's something we'll see take shape during Holiday in the Park. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to come through this area is to just get a different view of the Mr. Freeze paint job, and you can see this high banked turn right here is looking pretty much done. So You can see that the track color is kind of pretty much what it was when the ride first opened, and then the supports are this kind of interesting grayish blue color. So definitely, I do want to know in the comments below what you think of this new paint job. We will get some other angles of this as well. And over here near Runaway Mine Train, you have the Red Nose Tavern, which is just kind of a themed booth, or I should say bar, that happens throughout the year. Right now it's the Red Nose Tavern for Holiday in the Park, but you can see they have poured new concrete for the foundation, and it has a more substantial kind of bar area. So this is just looks a lot better than what they had here, and I know that they're having a little bit of trouble building some stuff in this little floodplain area, but this is definitely a better trade-off than what they had. So in the comments, one of y'all told me to actually check out the outdoor queue area, the extended queue area for Mr. Freeze, which is over that way. Now, the only effective way I know to see that is from this Boomtown Depot train station, but unfortunately the train's not running right now, so I guess the suspense will continue, and you'll have to keep telling me, reminding me to come look back here. I tell you what, even the smallest things are getting love out here. This Dippin' Dots stand here in Boomtown, it's even got a new paint job. Look at this. Even the Dippin' Dots stand is getting the love. Now, when we were here last, the Riddler Revenge was shut down for whatever reason, but today it is back up and running. Just wanted to note that because people are always curious about this ride, and it's definitely got some mood swings and some irritabilities. And we've made our way into the original Gotham City area just to give you another look at the Mr. Freeze paint job. You can see they've got a little bit more of that top hat done since we've been here last, and you can even see that overbanked turn peeking up over. Love shiny paint, it's so fun. But this is looking pretty good, and like I said, the gray supports will definitely take some getting used to, but I love that that light blue has come back, because number one, makes a lot more sense with the theme of the ride. Number two, it just looks really good. And as we got a little bit closer, you can see that it looks like there's still some track kind of repair going on, but for the most part, it looks like this area that they were working on repairing is pretty much painted. And it isn't a construction update without taking a peek at Aquaman Power Wave. Now, I always like to look over here from the back because you never know what's going on back here. It does look like they've really flattened this out, and some new pieces have arrived. Let's see if we can maybe get a better angle on this. I'm not too sure. It's pretty far away. And yeah, it definitely looks like some new stuff has arrived for the ride. I just can't quite tell what it is from over here. Now, keep in mind, they do still have to build out this trough more for the final splashdown, so only a little bit of it is done. So it may have something to do with that. And, you know, of course, there's all kinds of new stuff having to go on to install that turntable. So let's go around to the front and see if we can get a peek through the fence. This is very random, but this little kind of shaded protective structure that they put on the storage track part of Pandemonium has been complete, so looking good. So over here where the turntable has to be installed for Aquaman Power Wave, you can see that they've started extensively working on new footers and new concrete structures. Looks like it's covered. Maybe they're worried about rain and such, but you can see they've really started on this. So I think it's only a matter of time before we start really seeing changes down here. All right, everyone, that does it for this construction update from Six Flags Over Texas. As you can see, even though we are in Holiday in the Park, one of the busiest parts of the year, They have not slowed down on any of the projects they're working on out here. So we've got 2 new rides coming. There's tons of new paint out here, more new paint to come, I'm sure. And you can see all the building construction. They've got the parking lot going. They've got, golly, a fence going around the whole place. Brand new, nice looking fence going around the whole place. You name it, it's kind of happening. So this is a very exciting time to be coming out to the park and checking all that stuff out. Of course, here periodically we will come out and check out all the progress that's going on with the projects we've shown you, and if anything new happens, we'll show that as well. So make sure y'all stay tuned, because the Holiday in the Park video is going to be coming out in the very near future, and it's going to pretty much highlight all the stuff. There's tons of new stuff for Holiday in the Park, so that's going to be a jam-packed video. If y'all have any questions about Six Flags Over Texas, make sure to ask in the comments below. I also highly encourage you to check out sfotsource.com. It's basically an encyclopedia for this place. We've got so much information about rides, dining locations, park history. There's photos, there's guides to events, so make sure to check that out. Take care, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.